Threw me off, Cori. God damn you.
Yes.
Joe with the Gym Life Podcast here at Clash on the Coast, men's final event. And I have one of our great women's competitors with us here right now, Cori Butler, who is also judging
Yes, sir.
this Clash on the Coast all weekend long, because you're going to judge the women tomorrow as well, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah. So how was the weekend for you so far?
It's been great. Obviously, the weather's a hell of a lot nicer than it is in South Dakota right now.
Oh,
so,
that's a fact. Holy shit. South Dakota, that's right.
Yeah.
You live in a sucky state, don't you?
It's got its pros and cons.
Yeah. What are the pros exactly, Cori?
We don't have 100-plus weather for too many days.
I just wanted to be sure there was one. Yeah, South Dakota. Well, you guys got some great, American heritage out there, with... Isn't that where? No, that's North Dakota. I'm sorry. That's your rival state.
Well, we do have. So, what I usually tell people to identify is Mount Rushmore.
Oh, that's right. Mount Rushmore. Oh, okay. South Dakota.
Mount Rushmore,
Yeah.
So I'm 45
Yeah.
minutes from
It's a
Mount
beautiful
Rushmore.
state. It really is.
I live on the western side of the state, so we've got the Black Hills, lots of hiking, snow sports, water sports, things like that. So it's
how's
not
the strongman out there, by the way?
You're looking at it.
That's it. I'm guessing, right? I have some friends of mine that live in North Dakota that asked me about trying to find some people in North Dakota for them to, because they're the fans of the sport. By the way, I met them at the Arnold.
Yeah,
they absolutely love the sport. They drove from North Dakota just to watch everybody compete, which I think is great for the sport, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these are people that are not even associated with the sport,
for sure.
And it makes you feel really good.
Absolutely.
So they got a hold of me the other day and said, "Can you point me in the direction of somebody in North Dakota that does strongman?" And I'm still looking.
Yes. No, I have. Let me find the name of the gym, and I will get that.
Oh,
name,
great.
Because
So I'm talking to the right
there's
person.
a very good Full Circle. I
Oh,
believe
good.
It's called.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'll confirm that.
Well-
And they hold shows. They're great couple.
Well, how did you get into it, though? And were you always in South Dakota when you started getting into Strongwoman?
Yeah. So on a complete fluke, kind of. I joined this particular gym just to get back into shape after I had my second kid. And one of the trainers at the gym was competing or was going to start training for a local show. We have Deadwood, South Dakota, which is just a big casino town.
Yeah.
And they were holding a amateur show in conjunction with Oktoberfest, of all things. And he was training for it and said, "Hey, I need somebody to train with. Do you want to do this with me?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" And I think we did stones the first session. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to keep doing this."
Nice,
so I ended up signing up for the show, won the show, got my dick kicked in at nationals that first year, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna maybe try to start taking this seriously.
A little more serious. And you did, obviously.
I did. I got
You're
a
a
coach.
name recognizable in the sport.
Well,
you are.
Super
No, you are. No, you certainly are. Let me do the talking for you.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
be humble. All you want. All you athletes generally are. But you're a recognizable name.
Thank you.
And sometimes in sports like ours, you don't have to be great. You got to be good. You got to be consistent. And, of course, we know longevity plays a big role in all this.
Oh, sure it does, yes.
Yeah. We're seeing it more and more, I think.
For sure, yeah. Definitely.
Despite those of us who get injuries.
Yes.
Yeah, we're back for more. You're feeling pretty good right now?
Not too bad, yeah. It's slower than I'd like it to be, obviously.
Right.
But it's coming along.
What's the outlook for your competitions?
I'm hoping to qualify for Shaw. I would like to go back to the Shaw Classic.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep.
I have until the end of May to do that qualifier, so it's just whether or not I'm a little worried about the farmers. That's been something that's really slow coming
You really
back.
feel that in your bicep?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that pull and
yeah.
I had some nerve damage, so the grip is going to take a while to build back to, I think.
Just from the surgery, the nerve damage?
Yeah, so when they reattached my bicep tendon, they had to kind of move those nerves out of the way to do the attachment. Yeah. So surgeon's just not sure if it's just still pissed off from that, can take some time to come back, or if there's permanent damage.
Right, they say it could take time, for sure.
Yeah,
I've noticed in these two fingers, I can't really get feeling in them from my tricep reattachment.
Had that numb, kind of fell asleep feeling for a really long time. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's just more of a mental block trying to get over that, and maybe.
I am not. If I don't have to ever do a sandbag to shoulder, I will be.
Cori, I'm with you 100%.
Oh man!
And it's so funny you say that, because right when I was qualifying for OSG, I almost blew my bicep out on a sandbag, and you did it right after that. I was like, goddamn sandbags.
Yeah, and even Tyler Purdue, so that was his show that I tore it on or popped it on, and he was using that bag, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago. He messaged me. He's like, bag almost got me. I'm like, you just need to retire that thing.
It's snake bit. Those bags
it's got bad juju or something.
I'm talking to once I find Cal out here and I interview, and I'm telling him Cerberus has just got to get over those bags.
they need to like triple the cost and stop donating them to shows so
Right,
people
because
won't want
won't
to
use them bags.
Yes.
Cal's like, no, we don't want that. We make a bundle of money on those bags. I
Right?
know.
We can
I
find
know.
something
We'll find
else.
something else, Cal. We'll find something
I
else.
agree.
Yeah, those damn bags. But anyhow, it's sort of a legacy in our sport now. Whether at some point and when you're going to get injured to make a comeback, right? Because everybody's making a comeback.
I have had several people look at me and say, "Well, now you're an actual strongman."
Yeah, you
I'm
did
like,
it.
"Oh, neat.
Good job. Great job."
I don't know what I was before, but
No,
now
not
apparently-
quite. Strong girl, maybe,
I
or something.
guess.
Now you're a strong woman. You
Yes,
finally got there.
something.
So, what do you think of this show this weekend?
I think it's been great. I think the athletes, like we had a good group of guys. It's nice to see some newer faces competing.
Yeah.
It's nice to see some international guys come over.
Love it. Yeah.
But I think things moved pretty well. I tend to like a faster show. I'm a more athletic strong woman than I am necessarily statically strong. I mean,
Right.
I certainly have my strength somewhat, but I'm just better. Give me a yoke or give some farmers. And
Right.
I would rather do that and be more successful at that. So it's nice to see a fast show.
Well, the 105ers are kind of indicative of that athletic, sort of strong athletic bunch.
Yeah.
You're an 82 by nature, right? I mean, that's your class.
Originally, yes.
Originally,
Yes.
is that? But you go back. You could go up if you want to. You can come down if you go
Yeah,
after it,
I mean,
right?
I compete open essentially.
I get it,
as
yeah.
a pro.
Right.
If I needed to, I mean, the people around me would be hating life if I had to cut to 82 kilos again. But it's doable. Yes.
I mean, is there really? Do you really feel like that open class of women is less more dynamic, or more static?
I think you've got a few anomalies like Victoria Long, who is athletic and just a static monster.
World beater for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have a few of the girls. It's definitely evolved. When I started, you definitely had some girls that were statically strong, and I would gain ground because I could move a yoke well or move sandbags well or something of that nature. And I think even on the men's side, like men's and women's, I think we've kind of gotten away from that have to be like mass moves mass mentality.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. I mean, is the
yeah.
evolution of the shows you're finding becoming just more dynamic in
think
general?
so, yeah.
They're better to spectate that way too. I think people
I think so.
appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, you lose some of the visual
Sure.
spectacle, so to speak. I mean, you don't just have these giant human beings. I'll use 4 or I guess almost 500-pound guys.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Lifting massive amounts of weight.
I guess there are shows for that, though.
There are.
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
Arnold's an example of that.
Yeah,
even
sure.
for the women, very static.
Yeah, but even the guys, I think, like World's Strongest Man competitors are leaning out as much as a 350, 360
It's
pound
not
guy
like it
can
used to
lean
be.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
I think it's exciting to see that.
Yeah, I mean, just walking around here looking at Bobby, he's a very fit, in shape guy.
Yeah.
He's really kind of he's an in shape guy amongst even giants in his class.
Indeed.
Oh, by the way, I can't wait to talk to Bobby, right? Huge fan of that guy, what he did this year. But
Me
you're
too.
right. Athletically, Novikov's another example of that.
Yes.
Mateus is another example of that.
Yeah.
We're starting to see that more and more and more. And that's more the evolution of the sport, I think. We're realizing that we don't have to weigh an exceedingly amount of weight to actually push heavier weight. We just need to train differently.
Yeah, and realistically, I think that increases your longevity in the sport naturally.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
because
for
you're
sure.
not carrying around, all of that extra weight.
Yeah, you can breathe at
works
night
for your
and sleep
health.
and
yeah,
not,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Any big performances out there that you really enjoyed watching today as you were judging?
There were some new guys that really impressed me. I was wrangling Heat 4.
Yeah.
Vince Wilkinson, he's 24
Yeah,
years
yeah,
old, I think.
right,
I
yeah.
think this is his 3rd contest.
I know it, right?
And he makes the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid had never used tacky before to
Oh my God!
stones.
Right, you almost want to get pissed at guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Like,
got.
yeah.
He is definitely one that I could see in a few years being really something special.
Yep.
And in my heat as well, that Johnny Alimo.
Oh, great kid.
Same situation.
Yeah, interviewed him a little while ago.
Same situation.
Future of the sport.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, guys like that are.
Agreed.
Yeah, and they got a great look. They got a great attitude. He's humble as all get up. Yeah.
And that's overall over the course of the weekend. I would say I didn't see too much, disrespect. All the guys were real nice.
That's right.
Very listening, paying attention where they're supposed to be. Like we didn't really have any breakdowns, so to speak.
No,
where
no.
I think that, drama tends to run in strongman a little bit when you're,
Well,
it's hot and you're competing.
That's
and
a fact. Yeah.
Adrenaline's flowing.
Yeah, the behind-the-scenes drama we don't need. If these guys want to turn it on for the audience, I'm all about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I think they all did really, really
Yeah.
well. But just because I watched them most of the day yesterday, like those were two that really did surprise me. And I didn't know who they were coming in. But to be your third contest and 13 months into the sport.
Jody, you're a lot like I am. We see kind of the future of the sport when we
Yeah.
see guys like that. And also women that we're going to see tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is
Very
crazy,
excited about
right?
this,
If
yeah.
you remember last year's Clash in the 82s, it was the who's who.
Yes.
I mean, every one of those women arguably are at the Arnold or going
Yeah.
to these big shows,
Yep.
just like yourself, a part of that group.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you've got this really interesting new crop. Katie Gutwald and Emily Flowers are two of my personal favorites because they're up near me, so I pay attention to
Sure,
them.
sure.
And to find out that they're at Clash, of course, is very proud
Yeah.
because we're regional, right?
Absolutely,
We want to
yeah.
root on our local favorites.
For sure.
And these are just two women that are coming up through the sport now that could be the next, version of Melissa Peacock or
Yeah.
Hannah Lindsay or any one of these people out there right now that are doing really well at the top.
Yeah.
And it's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
I a lot of times will prefer to watch the women's side of things. I mean, obviously I'm a little biased because I'm a female myself,
Yeah.
but I think it's super exciting to watch.
It's great.
I'm really excited. Jody has been putting in a lot of hard work.
Jody, yes.
She
It's
looks really good.
good to see her back and looking as good as she's looking.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, really.
Agreed. And Summer
Yeah.
Johnson.
Right.
I judged at America's
What was her
Strongest
last
Woman.
show?
America's Strongest Woman, I think.
Right. Prior to that, though, she's been out for a while.
She
Yeah.
has been, yep. And she impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to run in that open
Another good
class
story, a
and-
plot line
yeah,
there. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm super excited
And who's
to
that
see,
kid, the 17-year-old?
Sophia Sharp, I
What
believe is
the
her
hell
name.
is that all
She had a
about?
455 wagon wheel deadlift at the Jersey
17
Clash
years old.
At 17 years old.
Boy, oh boy. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't
Right?
know what does. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I'm-
smart, too. She was doing her homework this morning
Yep.
on my
Yeah, I
on my
saw her.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. Like there are so many women
Yeah.
that I really am excited to watch compete, which I have to be. I mean, I can't be super excited to watch them compete because I have to give them like ups and downs.
Well,
and
absolutely,
things, but
sure, but you know what? It's okay to be excited about it because listen. That resonates with everybody. I'm a bigger fan of the women than I am the men, and I would tell any guy out there that because what we're seeing in the women's sport. I'll say it every year until I don't see it anymore. It's leaps and bounds the type of progress that the sport is making and on all levels, not just strength, not athleticism, but with respect and the equality that we're getting in the sport. This sport's kind of leading the way with that a little bit. I really believe that.
Yeah,
and what Rogue did this year was a perfect example.
I agree. I think that we're getting some movement for sure.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people say, I really
Yep.
I enjoy watching the women more
Yep.
than the men sometimes. And I think it's, I've made a couple of comments on this prior too. I think we have to pay dues. Like we have to give it some time.
Yep.
How long has the men's side of the sport been around?
Right, yeah, a really
freaking
long time, yeah.
The women's side, not as long. So I
No.
think some of us, it's okay to be reminded sometimes that we're getting there. Like
That's
obviously
right.
we need to make those moves.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight.
No,
as much
it
as we'd like to
doesn't.
think it does,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long ago we were watching Jill Mills and she was leading the way, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that seems like it was 50 years ago, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, even when I went pro, we had just a couple of shows we could compete at. We had America's Strongest Woman, we had Strongest Woman in the World, and we had the Arnold Pro.
Yeah,
and
that's
that was
it.
pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah.
So now to have all of these opportunities,
It's unbelievable.
it's fantastic.
It really is great.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
And every year we're getting more creative promoting coming out
Yeah.
that's allowing these shows to take place. And I think it's going to get to a point where even the top level shows, there'll be enough of them where you'll look at your calendar and go, I can't fit them all in.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's going to be beneficial to me?
Yep.
My growth, maybe it's convenience and other things, but prize money doesn't help or hurt either. That's
No,
a fact.
prize money definitely doesn't hurt. No.
It's nice to get this stuff paid for,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah. And I think we're seeing a little bit more of that too. I mean, when we World's Ultimate Strongman, I got to be a part of that, and
Yeah.
they treated us like queens. I mean,
You were a part of that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Paid for our travel.
Great organization. Yeah. Everything I
Yeah.
hear about them. Yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It will be very, very hard to top that
Right.
contest experience.
Well, good. And the European side of things to me has always kind of been leading the way, and they're
Yep.
going to continue to do that. Listen, it's a whole different sport over there.
It very much is.
It
yeah.
really is.
Especially on the women's side of
Oh,
things. to be honest with
absolutely,
you, yeah.
absolutely. But we're starting to connect more with that. I mean, Luke and Rhea are doing some crazy things
are.
over there at
Yep.
Chaos, and I'm going to go over there for that show in England for
that's right.
the 90 Classic, and
Yep.
and obviously just to be over there to be a part of that, it's going to be awesome with
It
the
is.
scene over there.
Yeah.
But and I'll get to understand with a lot of what you're feeling for being over there
Yep.
and doing what you did. did. And hopefully we can start connecting some of these organizations, right?
That would be
because
nice.
isn't the goal to get the best people in the world together?
Yes.
Not the
ultimately.
easiest thing to do if we can't provide the opportunity for these people.
Yes.
I know these Europeans even come over to Clash. Very, very difficult.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to schedule things. I know it's very difficult for different organizations to kind of plan around each other, but it would be nice to have something, planned out where you could hit as many shows as possible without completely killing yourself.
Well, you know what? My goal is to when I win the lotto, I'm literally going to give like $50 million to Strongman.
All right.
And I'm just going to do competitions, and you're going to win the money.
Okay.
And we're just going to blow the doors off this fucking place.
All right. Sign me up. Can I?
You're for sure. There'll be a qualifier. I got to make it fair. There'll have to be. I'm sorry. I got to make it fair for everybody.
Right, fine.
But if you don't qualify, of course you're going to work at the event.
right.
So either way, you're going to make money.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
I'm
we're
all
good.
right with this. Okay.
But listen, we got a big day tomorrow.
Big day tomorrow.
It's going to be awesome, and then
gotta
we're going
warm
to talk
up.
more. Yeah, because I want to see you compete. I can't wait.
Well, thank you. I
So,
appreciate that. Hopefully August.
Yeah, so we'll keep in touch.
Sounds great.
Because if that contest is slated in at some point,
Yeah.
we'll get together real quick to see how you're doing.
Okay. Perfect.
Thanks, Jody, for joining me.
Thanks for
All right.
having me on.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right.